Hey world builders, welcome back to Build Together. This is day 153. Today's prompt is describe a painting of a great historical moment and how accurate or inaccurate the painting is in relation to the events that took place. This one comes from sunpanda.kingofsoup from the Discord. I talked about chip mosaics before, and I decided to continue down this route. I actually gave chip mosaics their own doc, fleshed out the art form a little bit, and then I created the battle for Zoher. The battle for Zoher is in the Zoherian town of Zorito. It is inside of the oldest temple of Hormuz. It is not the greatest, it is not the body of Hormuz, like I've discussed before, but it is the oldest, and its entire west wall is decorated with a huge chip mosaic that's like well over 100,000 chips involved in its construction, and it purports to depict this scene from the Zoher incursion, in which these three brave sundered priests, who are sort of by at least the artist considered to be misunderstood, rebuffing an angry horde of gravely mistaken locals. In general, the piece is very beautiful. You have one of the arms like sticking their finger out like they've just completed a working, and there is this sort of eruption of flame from brighter bits that are incorporated into and within the chips that evokes this feeling of fire like rushing forth from the point of his finger. You have another that is a hand, a center priest that is of the hand touching with their only hand the back of said arm, and like there's this swirl pattern that displays sort of like evokes an idea of healing, and then the other arm is over here like raising an arm up and like fucking angry local with a farming implement striking at them. It's a very famous piece. It's truly beautiful. There's like this dividing line between these simple forms make this sort of feeling of like a wall or like a burnt house in between that separates the sundered priest from kind of like a mass of faceless, oblique, angry faces that all seem to, they are charging the sundered priests, who are pictured as sort of alone and on their own and against adversity. The history of the painting goes largely unaddressed by the Church of Hormuz, but the battle for Zoher is seen by most people as a religious misrepresentation, a piece of propaganda that had attempted at the time to sort of glorify and sanitize a lot of the atrocities that were committed during the Zoher incursion. Sorito was one of the early places hit, and that is steeped in its history, and while it isn't talked about much anymore, the Battle of Zoher remains as a grim reminder. What's a painting of a great historical moment in your world, and how accurate or inaccurate is its depiction of that moment? Thanks for building together.